Each and every day, in communities across the world, there are learners of all ages who, along with their family members, educators, and city leaders, walk into buildings, the places where they'll get a chance to prepare for a collective future. An inventive world where everyone, everywhere, has the skills and support to fill or create the jobs of the future.
I am Johnnathan Matthews, the principal of Huffman Middle School, and we are located on the east side of Birmingham, Alabama. I am a cultivator, a mother, and I am a leader. So just thinking about it, I love being at Huffman Middle School because number one, it is part of Birmingham City Schools, and I am a product of Birmingham City Schools. So, of course, I love working at Huffman Middle School. Our students at Huffman Middle School are so talented. They have so many good skills that you could probably match them with an adult, and they might do better than the actual adult. But had I had the technology that we have today for our students, I probably would still be a teacher. So Bailey is my sweet little angel, one of the students here at Huffman Middle School. I met Bailey through her brother, Brian. Brian was a student here last school year. He is currently at Huffman High School, but his technology skills were so good.
Welcome to the Huffman Middle School newscast. I'm your Huffman Middle School news reporter, Brian Johnson, and today...
The next thing I know, I saw Brian at my church. I'm like, Brian, what you doing here? He was like, well, you know, my stepdad goes here. And I was like, oh my God, boy, we are really family now. And then I saw his little sister, Bailey. And he was like, this is my sister, she'll be coming to Huffman Middle School. I'll be leaving, but she'll be coming.
My name is Bailey Johnson. I'm in 6th grade at Huffman Middle School. I'm proud of myself because my brother taught me a bunch about technology when I really didn't know nothing about technology. At Huffman, I was using my school iPad to use it to make videos or edit videos for the principal, Miss Matthews, or our 8th grade teacher, Mr. Fillon. I feel great because at the end of the day, I know my principal knows me, so she's gonna ask me to do this or do that. So
she has that it, you know, and I love it. And I said, just imagine, I don't even know if that's her career goal, but just imagine one day if she had all the right tools, a teacher that could teach her how to use the camera, how to use the photography, how to use all this equipment, how well and diverse she would be in technology, and how many people that she can be able to help.
Everywhere you look, it's obvious. Young people like Bailey have more access to technology than any generation before them. To play, to create, to be heard, to escape. And yet, their futures are dependent on their ability to use digital skills to get jobs that don't yet exist. Daughters and brothers, educators and families, leaders and partners, all of us, hurtling towards a technology-dependent future. But what if we're not ready?
My name is Randall Woodfin. I am honored to serve as mayor of the city of Birmingham. I am a leader in this community. I am a son, and I am a soon-to-be father. I often tell people that the city of Birmingham, a city made up of 23 communities, 99 neighborhoods, the city is only strong as its lowest quality of life neighborhood. And so when I think about that neighborhood, when I think about that street and that block and that family who door I've knocked on or sat on their porch or stood in their front yard, I know the issues that exist. It's not just crime. It's not just an empty lot next to them. It's also that digital divide.
As a principal at the school, I would love to make sure we meet the needs of the students as well as the parents and this community as a whole. So in this particular community, I do notice that the parents, they really invest in their child.
When I look at Bailey, I see a beautiful, smart young lady. I want Bailey to succeed in life. Whatever her hopes and dreams are, I want her to follow through with it. I want her to be better than me. So with this technology, I want her to get a scholarship. I want her to go to school. And for Bryant, I want the same thing for him as well. I don't want them to get with the wrong crowd. I don't want Bryant to be in the streets. But I don't want that for my kids. I want better. So whatever they want to do, I'm going to support them, and I'm going to push them to be whatever they want to be in life.
You excited? I did it. Because I was there when I did
When
it
I
the
grow up,
first time.
I want to be like my mama. She went to school, do online school, or go to school about nursing. She worked as a nurse first, then started doing school, at like learning more stuff about nurses, and then going on into helping at nursing homes. Whatever career I pick, I know I'm gonna need more technology and learning about other stuff, just like technology or the things that I need if I do be what I want as my mama.
I don't have on tennis shoes. You cheated. Now, if I had on tennis shoes, I would beat you.
Everything changes. It turns out everything needs to change. Not just for survival's sake, but how we as adults adjust. And what we seem to have a hard time with in public education is change. We know things the way they have been moving aren't working for our children. Children learn different. They access information differently than we did. And we should be comfortable being open to changing the model of how we engage children and meet them where they are, knowing that our children need digital skills related to where workforce is going, where employers are going, and the needs and the skills for the future.
Bailey's future includes being required to enter a tech-ready workforce. By 2030, 92% of jobs will require digital skills. And yet, today, in the U.S., more than 75% of 5th through 8th graders, young people just like Bailey, are not proficient in digital skills. Students in our country have less than a 10% chance to walk into a classroom with a teacher who has the confidence to teach digital skills. If we're to create an inventive world where Bailey and her peers have access to the future of work, then the time for transformation in digital education was yesterday.
90% of all jobs today and then by 2030 require digital skills. We are woefully not meeting that. All the numbers say that we're not meeting that. A third of all workers don't have digital skills that propel them or put them in a space for the jobs that they need to have access to. That is heightened even more for African Americans when about 50% of them have low to no skills, no digital skills in that space. So this is a crisis. And when you think about what the future of work and the future of our economy looks like, we have to solve that now.
While the world has radically changed since the advent of the internet, schools all over the country are still stuck in analog. The term digital divide was first used in the mid-1990s as our country began to grapple with the gaps between those who had access to technology and those who do not. With each passing day, the consequences for those experiencing this division become more devastating and nuanced. We need to question if the problem we're solving is one of just access or equity.
I wish I had more classes that taught me about technology. We don't spend as much technology at school because we don't have a technology teacher yet. But I still see my old technology teacher, so sometimes she speaks about me about technology, sometimes she don't.
I love Bailey because she's grateful for what she's using right now. And she's doing a phenomenal job with just her phone and the computer that we have in the school. I think the teacher would probably say that the connection sometimes is bad. You know, I wish I could fix the ceilings, the roof. I wish we can have bigger sized classrooms so that our kids would be comfortable inside the classroom without feeling like they're in a small space. I wish we had painted rooms, colorful rooms. I wish we had dry erase boards in every classroom. I wish we had a nook in the hallways. I wish we had better furniture in every office and classroom.
For 15 years ago, when I was a classroom teacher and I first heard the term digital divide, I think it was a little bit different then than it is now. It was, the conversations, especially politically, revolved around access to devices and access to connectivity. While devices and connectivity are still at the root of the digital divide problem, a large percentage of the students and the parents that we serve do have a cell phone that's now a digital content creation device. It keeps them connected even over cellular. And so I think the problem is a lot deeper now. The game that we're playing now is not just a digital divide, but it's a future divide. And it has a psychology that goes with it.
Well, we have devices for our students and for the teachers to utilize, such as our ViewSonic board. Every classroom has it. Majority of the students have the opportunity to have a device at need. But if they just have the device, I want them to do more than just have a device. And as a student, if I was a student, I want to know, what can I do to make a difference in the world with the device?
I think a lot of times people have this misnomer that just because students or children grow up in a digital environment, that they're digitally literate. And just like students can't grow up in an environment with books all around them, and you expect them to learn how to read by themselves. And I think that the same thing is true of technology. You have to be real intentional. You have to partner with individuals, because if you don't, our students are living in a world that is flatter and flatter. And what I mean by that is they're going to be competing against kids in China. They're going to be competing against those kids in South Korea. They're going to be competing against kids all around the world. And those students are being prepared. We need to be proactive and know that that is coming, and really be intentional about making sure that our students can compete, not just here locally, not just nationally, but globally. And the only way we can do that is by making sure that they are technologically sound and they're able to do all of the things that they have to do in order to be successful.
For over 3 years, EdFarm has been a digital education partner for cities like Birmingham, as well as rural and urban communities across the Southeast. We're on a mission to grow digitally fluent learners and cultivate change alongside students, educators, and community members. Along our journey, it's become clear that transformation in digital education is all possible through a single space, inspiring future-focused digital education spaces designed to empower learners of all ages to harness the power of tech and improve lives.
If a young person is in a safe environment, to explore the fact that every day that they show up to school or to work, the world is literally different than it was yesterday, and they have guidance in that direction. To me, that's the make or break moment for these young people. It's less about, do you have access to an iPad? And it's more about, do you have access to a safe space and guidance around change? A space gives every single person in the school community, all the way from a little brother who walks in on like a family night, all the way up to the principal and the grandparents who come, and certainly the kids and teachers. It gives every one of them something to rally around. And what they realize, or what they may not realize, is that they're not just rallying around a beautiful space. They're rallying around the future. They're rallying around change. And so going back to the idea of future shock, going back to the idea that the real problem is the world of accelerating change. An Ed Farm space gives an entire school community a place to come and explore the future and actually in person, hands-on, explore the potentials of where we may be headed.
Go to Canva, create a flyer for a QR code so that Miss Brown podcast can be put on a QR code. Miss Dean is gonna have her own mic. It needs to be in the middle, so y'all need to come closer or something. You on my foot, baby. Remember, napkins in your lap. Thank you. Yes, yes. Put your napkins in your lap. Put your purse to the side. Okay?
Oh, my napkin.
Put your headphones on. You're like an actress right now. You know that, right? All right? All right, we're getting ready to record live. Your mouths are closed at least for 20 minutes. Bulldog talk on the air. Okay, ready, set, go.
Hi, welcome to Bulldog Talk on the Air. I'm your host, Darian Austin. We have Kwame Lewis, and we have a special guest, Brittany, a second grade teacher here at Southampton K-3A School, and she also owns a restaurant.
Hi, everybody. I brought y'all some goodies from the restaurant to snack on while we talk. I hope y'all enjoy. Little deviled eggs, chicken wings, cream corn, mac and cheese, pecan pie. Hope y'all enjoy. Okay.
What inspired you to become a teacher after already owning a restaurant?
Well, actually, I went to school.
My name is Tambra Clark. I am the Library Media Specialist here at Southampton Cade School in the Library of Innovation. I am a creative, I am an innovator, and I am a change maker. We make magic in here. It's a big deal. We're designing, we're coding, we're creating. And as you can see, it's right on the wall. We're cultivating change in here. I'm gonna be totally transparent. I treat my students as I would treat my own kids. So whatever I'm exposing my students to, I'm exposing my kids to, my own personal kids. Whatever I'm exposing my own personal kids to, I'm gonna expose my students to.
If you had to think about a student that you do this work for, who comes to mind?
Aaliyah Hall. She came into the library to get a code that she needed to log in, and it was like she was a tourist. She was just like, wow, what do you teach? What grades come in here? And she immediately, can I be in your class? Like, this was her first day, and she was like, whatever it is, I want to be a part of it. So when I think about her, she comes from a rural area that did not have these type of resources that she has access to now. She went on to tell me, you know, I've never seen anything like this, and I want to be a part of it. And that right there alone, that meant so much to me because, okay, she want to come to school.
Every day when I come to school and I drop my brother off and I come here and I speak to Miss Clark and I ask her what we're going to do today, and she tells me something I've probably never heard of, and I get to find out and experience and learn about everything that she knows. And when she's teaching us, it feels like she's just opening her brain and just giving us chunks of it. We do a lot of things that really involve you thinking creatively and like really thinking outside of the box, because nothing here, honestly, is really inside of the box.
My students did not want to come to the library before the Library of Innovation opened. My space was full of books and wood. I had over 20,000 titles and a lot of wood. It was, oldie goldie. It was the traditional library that I grew up in. Let's be realistic. Who was running to the library just to kind of hang out? So when I walk into the space, I'm still humbled, because it's like, little old me, I have access to all this. It's a playground for me. And the possibilities are truly endless, because I feel like my students, where I'm at, they can compete with anybody in the world. Now we are set above.
I just thought that was the most beautiful library I've ever seen. When I walked through that building and I saw, when the doors opened of the library, my mouth dropped. I was just like, wait. Is this a school? The space was open, it was colorful, it was bright. It had all the technology tools a student would just love to have. The green room, the sound with the, and the big screen. It had so much, it blew my mind when I saw Southampton. I did get a little jealous. I did get a little jealous. But like I told y'all earlier, I'm a cultivator, and I'm also a dreamer too, I should have said that. And even though I knew Ed Farm was basically just dealing with the West Side schools, I was just like, I need Ed Farm. So I just started calling. Daniel and his team, they got with everybody they need to get with, and next thing I know, it took a while, but they came back and said, guess what? And I heard when my supervisor came and said, guess what? Huffman will be a space for Ed Farm. And I was so happy, you all. I was like, okay. And next thing I know, we started seeing Division 12 coming in, and I like, it looked like something happening. So we are in the process now of getting that room, because we want, it's a lot that I see. Like I said, we have a lot of talented kids here. So I see a lot going on in that space that can change this whole community.
Ed Farm has partnered with leaders and community members to bring 9 Ed Farm spaces to life, with more in development. What was once a school library or community recreation center has transformed into a holistic solution to address the digital divide, equipping communities with the digital skills and support they need to thrive.
It would be easy to just focus on the child and say, hey, here's some tools. It would be also easy to say, hey, let's engage adults, whether it's the teacher and or the parent, to equip them so they actually know how to engage the child. But when you add on top of, here's the young person, here are the tools, adults, you participate, and when you add on the space on top of that, that is a full holistic approach. You're not missing anything, there are no gaps. You can give a young person tools, and then all of a sudden, in the spaces they go to, it don't exist for them to be able to engage that tool or know how to use it. But when you add on the actual space, i.e. an actual school, when you reimagine the space of our public libraries or reimagining space in a recreation center, all of a sudden when that child walks out of their home, they look left or right, and they leave their porch, and they leave their sidewalk, and whether they walk to a space or drive out of their driveway, they have access.
From kindergarten through 12th grade, students are only with us 20% of the time. So it's 80% of the time that they're not with us. However, the 20% impacts so much. So within this 20%, you have to do mental health work. Within this 20%, you have to be able to prepare children for the job force. And within this 20%, you have to make sure the kids are technologically competent. And you still have to teach reading, writing, mathematics. So partnering with organizations like Ed Farm, they help us to move beyond just the 20% of the time that we have them, but to start using that 80% by bringing other people to the table to help provide those services. So I would say to any leader, you don't have to do this work yourself. You know, there are people out there who do this work and they've seen levels of success in school systems like Birmingham City Schools, and I'm sure that those same levels of success can be replicated in any district across the nation.
Yeah, so when successful, you know, our Ed Farm spaces, you know, truly bring to bear what it means to actually transform communities through digital learning. That's why you want an Ed Farm space. You know, you want this to be your legacy that you leave behind as a leader of what you were doing, you know, to transform your community through digital learning. You want this to be the thing that you invest in because you're solving this crisis of access to digital literacy, access to broadband, and just overall, how do you build communities? That's why you want an Ed Farm space.
I see Huffman Middle School being the model school for Jefferson County. So when Bailey walked into that particular space, I believe Bailey is going to be able to find even more skills that she probably didn't even know she had, because all the tools she need would be there.
What I'm excited to learn in this space with my brother is how to work on things together and learn more things about the video and how to make things and make more flyers that we used to make.
I could see her smiling a little bit more. I could see her gaining more friends, building up her self-esteem a little bit more. I think she's gonna have a whole lot of a team of other kids that she can take the opportunity to lead and be able to show them how to use tools. They won't probably have to ask the why we have to learn this, because they see it every day and they see how it's being utilized. I think we'll see a significant growth in kids wanting to come to school, you know, and want to participate, and you will see that proficiency going up from 25% to probably 80% or 100%, because kids love to use their hands.
The future doesn't have to be daunting. A single space can transform the life of a student. It can transform a school. A single space can transform an entire community.
You just never know what the future may hold, and it starts here. It starts here at Huffman Middle School, and we're gonna plant the seed, and somebody else gonna continue to water it. So she's gonna grow into a beautiful, beautiful flower.